Hello, my name's Rob Edwards. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. And today I'm apoplectic with excitement, frankly, because it is one final day to get through before The Wheel of Time Series 1 launches on Amazon Prime Video. It is such an exciting time. And this, also exciting for me personally anyway, this is my third video in my Wheel of Time week. I'd promised at least 3 and this is my third one. Burn me, I wasn't expecting it. And it is, clue to the topic there, it is something which I want to talk about the world building in Robert Jordan's Wheel of Time, and the way that language gets used by characters in it, specifically the way that swearing is done. And light blind me for a wool-headed sheep herder, that is precisely what I'm going to be doing today. This video is going to be something of a challenge to present, actually, because I don't want to be swearing on YouTube for 2 reasons, really. One, I mean, not that I am monetized, but I always feel that I should be prepared to the situation where sometime in the future videos might be monetizable. Very, very small YouTube channel. Like and subscribe. Yes. But the other reason is that I am essentially an uptight, repressed British guy, and I actually find swearing very difficult. This isn't because I think there's anything wrong with swearing. I actually think that swearing is sometimes precisely the correct response to certain stimuli, and when artfully done by masters of the craft, swearing can be a fascinating thing to listen to. It is just something I've never been terribly comfortable about doing myself. I know I'm weird. And perhaps that's why, when I spend too much time in the world of Robert Jordan's Wheel of Time, I do find myself picking up the way of swearing that the characters have in this series, and that I really enjoy it. It's really fascinating to me how much Robert Jordan is achieving for his world building in the way that characters swear within the book series. And I'm so hoping that this is something that's going to be reflected in the TV show. I've not seen any evidence of it in the trailers yet to date, but I will honestly be disappointed if we don't have someone shouting blood and bloody ashes at some point during the show, certainly in the first 3 episodes that we've got coming tomorrow. I really, really want to have some characters doing that. It does mean that you get characters like trivial spoiler, but there's a character called Uno that appears towards the end of book 1 and more featured in book 2, whose sort of main character trait is his foul mouth. And I don't think you can really portray this character without having him swear. So what are they going to do about it? Are they going to just drop the character, or are they going to have him swear in more sort of modern day language, or are they going to be adopting the Wheel of Time swear patterns? So in the real world, I think we probably have 4 categories of bad words which people use when they're angry, or they want to take it out on somebody, or whatever, or just day-to-day conversation. And 3 of those types of words are just not going to appear in Wheel of Time at all. We're not going to have, unpleasant slurs against particular ethnicities, sexualities, genders, any of that kind of stuff. Keep it well away from my Wheel of Time. Don't want any of that. Thank you very much. We're not going to get much in the way of toilet humour. I wouldn't have thought. That really is the wrong end of the scale of what we're doing for world building here. Yes, biological functions are funny. I get that completely, but I really don't want any of it in my Wheel of Time. And the third category that I don't think we're going to get very much of, and certainly there isn't very much of, if at all, in the books, is swears around sort of sexual activity, for want of a better phrase. But one thing that we get quite a lot of in the real world, and also in the world of Wheel of Time, is religion-based swearing. We get a lot of, in the real world, using the Lord's name in vain, damning people to hell and all this kind of stuff. And that's where the interesting swears come from in the Wheel of Time. Because what Jordan does is to establish the swear patterns as another element of his world building. There isn't a god in the Wheel of Time. There is the creator, and through the creator we have the light. So we get people using variations like just saying light, light, I can't believe that happened, light, they're out to get us, or something like that. And this is just where you would use the word God in swears in English. And like, God damn it, we have light blind me, light blind me, blind me. Variations like that. Now, I think that's quite interesting. I've not really deep dived into this. This is just a thing which interests me, but not enough to research it. So if you are, I'm very grateful. A few of my videos have had more knowledgeable Wheel of Time fans posting comments into my videos, which I've really appreciated. If you know more about this, what in the mythology supports this idea that the light goes around blinding people that are bad or done bad things, or as a revenge or as a pettiness, or it's interesting. I suppose it's just an extension of that's something that light can do. But I do wonder if there is some mythology surrounding this swearing. Light blind me. We'd also have burn me. Burn me is another one, which I think is probably, again, it might be associated with the light burning away impurities. Burn me. Or it could actually be a callback to the breaking of the world, which I think we're getting some sort of background to the Wheel of Time animations tomorrow, which I'm also very much looking forward to having a look at. And maybe that's a holdover from the breaking of the world, where volcanoes started erupting out of nowhere. It's why we have really weird geography in the world of Wheel of Time, because the Wheel of Time, the world got broken, and perhaps the burn me thing is a holdover from some cataclysmic part of the breaking, maybe. But again, it could be another manifestation of the light burning out impurities. Blood and bloody ashes. Again, I can't help but feel that there must be some mythological thing this is referring to. What are the bloody ashes? Whose blood has been shed upon them? Is this, again, from the breaking? Is this the 100 companions having their blood shed when they seal away the Dark One? I say the Dark One, and one thing which I think is really interesting, this tells you a little bit about the world that we're in the Wheel of Time, and the way it treats its... Again, it's not really religion. There's not really a faith thing that we've got going on here. We don't have chapels to the light, because, it's just a fact of life that the Creator exists, the light exists, and so we don't have a faith-based worship of the light in this world. It's just not done, really. Okay. Spoilers for further down the line, perhaps. But we don't really get that. We get people like the White Cloaks who have an almost religious fervour about the way they go about seeking out dark friends to the point of excess at the very least. But because we don't really have organised religion, because we don't really have this sort of faith structure within the land of Wheel of Time, we do find ourselves in a situation where it's interesting that just everybody knows. Don't name the Dark One. Don't say the Dark One's name. You can refer to him as the Dark One, but he has a number of other names, and we don't use them. We don't use them unless we are very foolish or want to draw the attention of the Dark One, despite the fact that the Dark One and his Forsaken were sealed away in Shire Ghoul at the start of time. Which again is another bit of a catechism that we get in the Wheel of Time, another example of religion but not religion in the Wheel of Time, although not necessarily an example of swearing. So those are the sort of big ones. Burn me, light, blood and bloody ashes. These are all the things which people say a lot in the Wheel of Time. But we also get some more, I don't know, more of sort of affectionate insults and put-downs to people that we see quite a lot. Rand is called a lot of times over the course of the entire series, basically. He gets referred to as wool-headed, he gets referred to as a sheep herder. And again, I'm not sure if this is specifically about him, having been raised on a sheep farm, and he is literally a shepherd, or whether it is just a sort of local term of insult. Because we do see some examples of that from other characters. There is another quite major, if secondary, character in the Wheel of Time who was born and raised in Tyr, and this character has a lot of fish and fishing relating swears. She shouts fish guts as a sort of a general expletive at various points. And again, it is her expressing her dissatisfaction with the world through language that people around her find quite vulgar. And again, it's quite interesting. You don't get swears like that from the Two Rivers. The Two Rivers is months of travel away from the sea. So there's not going to be very much in the way of fish and sea-based swearing. But being born and raised in Tyr on the coast, you get a lot of that there. And again, it's all about contextualizing the world building that Robert Jordan does. And that is really fundamentally why I want to see it in the Wheel of Time, because it is so good at placing these characters in the world without huge lots of exposition. You learn things about them and their culture by the way they talk. And I really hope we see Matt during the season swearing like the foul-mouthed village boy that he is. Burn me, I do. So there we go. That is my look at swearing the Wheel of Time. I hope that amused you at the least. It amused me anyway. Tomorrow, I think I've said all this already. Tomorrow I will be watching the episodes in the evening with my wife when she gets back from work. So I'm not expecting to have any of my review videos for Wheel of Time available until at least Monday or Tuesday next week. But I will be doing reviews of each of those episodes as we watch them. And I'm really looking forward to sharing my thoughts about them. If I do a video tomorrow, it might be having a look at these animatics that we have about the sort of backstory for Wheel of Time. Because they're not, I mean, they're things that I can watch with my wife a second time, maybe. Although now I've said that in the video, maybe I won't be able to do that. But she will be very mad if I watch any of this show without her. So this may be it from me for the Wheel of Time week. I hope everybody has a great time with the show. I hope the show is as great as I want it to be. Again, I've said this many times. I do not care that there will be changes. As long as the core of what we get is still Wheel of Time, as long as the characters that we see are still characters that I recognise from my reading of the Wheel of Time, that is enough for me. Changes just means this is a different turning of the wheel. And the wheel weaves as the wheel wills. I will catch you in a post-Wheel of Time launch world. Cheers.